Morning, everybody. Tucson Eggers here. It's Saturday morning, August 26th. On my way to an auction, and I'm pretty excited about today. I don't want to get my hopes up too high. I'm a Bronco guy. I've had my 89 Bronco for, I don't know, 18 years, I think. 2005 till 2023. I just picked up another Bronco from my uncle. He was gracious enough to drive it up, tow it up actually, and trailer it up from Florida all the way to northern Michigan. And heading to this auction that has a 1988 Ford Centurion C350. Well, it's an F350 XLT Lariat, but it's a four-door Bronco. It's a very rare, limited edition kind of a thing. I'll get more into that later to give you the details. It's super cool, though. I don't know exactly what it's worth. I can't find a blue book. I've checked NADA, I've checked KBB, four-door Bronco forums, and they range from, you know, a couple thousand over to over 20,000. Kind of crazy, the price difference. But apparently there was only about 15,000 of these things made from 87 to 96. The company Centurion would buy F-150 and F-350 crew cab pickups from Ford, and then also buy Bronco parts, and they spliced them together, made a four-door Bronco out of them. And this one is a 350 chassis, and it looks to be in really, really good condition. And I'm thinking I'd be willing to go up to 10K for it. I actually called the bank and got a loan, and you know, I haven't had an auto loan in well over a decade now, and I don't really want a car payment, you know, living on the homestead, fixed income kind of a dealio. But this thing is super, super cool. And you know, it's 3-row seating. It's basically the precursor to the Ford Expedition. So it's a big truck. It's got the 460 cubic inch engine in it, the gasser, and I'm assuming it's got the A4OD or E4OD transmission. From the photos, though, it's got a carburetor on that engine, and as far as I know, in 1987, Ford switched everything, or at least started transitioning to fuel injection, and by 1988, the 460s were all fuel injected. So I don't know if somebody did some sort of conversion or actually swapped out engines. I don't know. I haven't even seen it in person yet, just a bunch of photos. From those photos, it didn't look like there was any rust on it except a little patch on the tailgate. The interior looked really, really good. Couldn't see the door jambs, so I don't know about that. Couldn't see the roof, you know, where the Ford Bronco topper attached to the crew cab F350. They had to do, you know, like factory style Bondo patch job, I guess. And apparently that's a really big rust spot on these vehicles. I honestly, I don't think I've ever seen one of these in person. So anyhow, really excited, and again, I don't want to get my hopes up, but one of the issues we're having right now as a family is that we can't really go anywhere because we have 3 big dogs and 3 people. And then, you know, usually when we go somewhere, we bring a whole bunch of suitcases and all that. We just don't have a vehicle big enough. And honestly, I don't want an Excursion or one of the newer vehicles. And I love Broncos. I love old school F100 or F-Series pickups. So this would be really, really useful. And being the 1-ton chassis, I'd be able to tow or haul basically anything. So when we get there, I'm about 15-20 minutes out. When I get there, we'll go ahead and pick up and go from there.
All right, everybody. So I'm at this company, Let's Talk Auction. It's over in Mayo, Michigan, the eastern side of the tip of the Mitt. And this is it. This is that Centurion. Overall, it looks really good. The roof has some issues, and that's to be expected. A little bit along these rain channels. Amazingly,
There's virtually no rust, and I've already checked it all. I've even used a magnet. Super exciting. The interior, it's not great, but it's not terrible. A little dirty. Carpet up front's pretty good. Carpet all the way in the back is really faded. Really faded. But overall, really friggin' cool. Just a huge vehicle. Like I said, 3 rows of seating. So 1, 2, 3, right from the factory. The headliner is falling down. He used some body screws up here. Who knows what that actually got caught in up there. Maybe that's from the factory, I don't know. But these are from the factory. I know Centurion did that. It was basically, you know, like a limited model. They call it the XLT Lariat. And, you know, it's got all the bells and whistles. It's got an aftermarket stereo. Now, the one thing I don't like so far is the engine. Got a random wire just hanging here. The engine was changed. These came from Ford with a 460 fuel injected in 1988, starting in 87, but by 88 all of them were fuel injected. And we've got all the old fuel injection wiring. Like this here is the throttle cable for the fuel injection, and it's not hooked up. Here's all the extra wires. The original air intake would have been right here, going up and over. That's gone. They did start it up. It did run. Started up pretty easy, actually. Sounded pretty good. The exhaust looks good. Apparently the water pump is leaking on this guy right now. Got a little puddle going on down here. Got a rag stuck up here. The underside looks pretty doggone good. I mean, overall, really good. Certainly can't complain. I mean, almost, it got a little surface rust here and there, but like even this frame, the lower support for the radiator, those usually rot out right away. That's not bad at all. Fender wells all look good. No Bondo. I checked it with a magnet again. There is a little bit of surface back here starting to bubble up. And the tailgate, and here's a little bit right here too. Tailgate has some pretty rough spots on it. But it's got the tow package and everything. Beast of an axle. Haven't checked the rear window yet, but I'm assuming it works. They definitely painted, somebody painted this topper. I don't think it came from the factory that way, but I don't know, that could have been. It does match this silver. So pretty exciting. Got at least a couple of hours, well, at least an hour until they get over here. We got a whole bunch of stuff to sell up front. Tires are actually in really good shape too. I mean, almost full tread here. All right, we'll be back. This thing is so freaking cool. I cannot believe I got it for that. Got 315 by 75s on it, so almost 35-inch tires. Apparently the water pump's leaking a little bit, and I'm an hour 15 from home at least. So I'm thinking when I come back to get it, might bring some bars, stop leak or something, and a couple gallons of 50-50 mix. We'll see though. The radiator, I already popped the cap earlier and it's actually full. So either they filled it up when they got here, or I don't know. Air cleaner doesn't exactly look great. We'll see. I might pop it off there just to make sure I'm not pulling in gunk on the drive home. Other than that, I mean, holy cow. I almost can't believe it. It sounds good. It seems to run good. Apparently it was driven here. Don't know exactly the wiring issues going on here. Lots of home stuff done, and it doesn't look very proper if you ask me. All sorts of stuff cut off. All these circuit breakers snipped everywhere, spliced everywhere. That stuff I can clean up as I go. Man, this is so cool. So cool. Friggin' 88, big block. Thing's a beast. So cool. So we'll pick the video back up when I'm driving at home.
All right, everybody. So as you can see, it's parked at home in front of the barn. Super excited. Closest alligator right now is the coolant leak. I was able to limp it home. It was over an hour drive. Took us almost an hour and a half. And the water pump is shot. And I figured out that the engine in this thing is, it is a 460, but it's a, hold on. But it's a older model 460, 79 to I think 86 is what the stamp on the block indicates. And so, you know, finding parts is always pain in the butt. You go into a parts store, what year, make, and model you got? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. So anyhow, I've been looking up parts and figuring things out. Got to get this radiator and engine flushed though, so that'll be the next day or two. I'm not even going to bother videoing that. There's plenty of those videos out there, but I'll probably go through the process of what I call my bumper to bumper inspection and tune up. You know, everything from spark plug wires and plugs, well, depending, wires maybe, I don't know, anything at all on this thing is going to get redone. Differential fluids, the transmission fluid looks good, but obviously an oil change and filter, brake fluid, I'll check all the brake pads and the U-joints and ball joints and everything, just absolutely everything. Now I did notice that these seals up in here for Bronco guys, these cap seals go bad after a while, and they are bad. I found wet floors in there, so I'm guessing that this was parked inside for a really long time, because the floors weren't wet when I checked it out at the auction, but it sat at the auction yard for almost 2 weeks before I could go get it, and now the floors inside are a little bit wet. I bought this stuff called Surface Shield. We're going to be doing a full undercoating before winter, but man, it looks so good under here. Overall, hardly no rust at all. It's really incredible, to tell you the truth. Really amazing. I mean, there's a little bit here and there of surface stuff, but the body and the frame all look really nice. Lots of wiring issues. So driving it home, I found out that the rear window doesn't work, the side windows, you know, the driver's door and the passenger door windows don't roll down, the speedometer doesn't work, just all sorts of little wiring issues. Really irritating. The lights actually do work, but the knob is gone. The windshield wiper, when you turn it this way, it should go to delay, and it doesn't do that. And then this is low, and that's on, or low and high. They tried to wire up an aftermarket window switch, and I believe they tried to use this as the main power for it, and it fried that hole right there, or that slot, fuse slot. So I got a lot of wiring issues to do. And this, I think, is actually factory, because this used to be an F350 from the factory, and it got converted to a Bronco. So it would have had a forward and rear tank. Just all sorts of wiring issues. It's going to take me a while. I know this blue and brown wire are the rear window wires, but they do go up to that switch up there. Anyhow, yeah, lots and lots of little things to dig into. Nonetheless, got one happy camper here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna need to get into the barn soon, but we hit 2 auctions after that first auction. Actually, one auction where I got this, then an online auction was this box here, and then yesterday we come home with all this crap and a horse trailer that's out there. That needs a lot of work. So lots and lots of work to do around here. I got to get to it, and trying to do the YouTube videos all at the same time, it's a load, that's for sure. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you got any questions about this Centurion, go ahead and throw it in the comments, and I'll let you know. I'll keep updating. The more interest I get in this, the more I'll post on it. So hey, thanks for watching, appreciate it. Keep yanking on them bootstraps. We'll talk to you soon.